Russian-installed authorities in occupied Kherson have urged residents to leave immediately as they expect Ukrainian troops to wage a counteroffensive campaign to reclaim the city in southern Ukraine. The regional administration posted a message on the Telegram app on Saturday demanding civilians leave Kherson City, citing a tense situation on the front and the threat of shelling and alleged plans for terror attacks by Ukrainian forces. They urged civilians to use boat crossings over a river to move deeper into Russian-held territory. Russia captured the regional capital city of Kherson in the early days of the war and occupied other parts of the region in the months following. Kherson is one of 4 regions President Vladimir Putin illegally annexed last month. On Thursday, he announced martial law in the regions amid a continuing counteroffensive by Ukrainian forces. Kherson's Kremlin-backed authorities previously announced plans to evacuate all Russian-appointed officials and as many as 60,000 civilians across the river in what local leader Vladimir Saldo said would be an organized, gradual displacement. An estimated 25,000 people from the region had made their way across the river, according to another Russian-installed official, Kirill, who said civilians were relocating willingly. People are actively moving because today the priority is life. We do not drag anyone anywhere, he said in his Telegram post, adding that some residents could be waiting for the Ukrainian army to reclaim the city. However, Ukrainian and Western officials have expressed concern about potential forced transfers of residents to Russia or Russian-occupied territory. Kyiv urged Kherson residents to resist attempts to relocate them, with one local official alleging Moscow wanted to take civilians hostage and use them as human shields. As Russian authorities continue a mass evacuation of civilians from occupied Kherson in southern Ukraine, defense analysts believe that the movement of people is setting the scene for Moscow to withdraw its troops from a significant part of the region. Up to 60,000 civilians are expected to be evacuated in the next few days from the western part of the Kherson region, on the right-hand side of the Dnipro River, to the eastern bank of the river, with residents told then to travel to other Russia-occupied regions. Residents were told to leave Kherson after the warning them that Ukraine is preparing to launch a large-scale offensive. Ukraine has decried the evacuations, likening them to deportations and telling residents not to comply. Vladimir Saldo, the region's Russian-installed acting governor, claimed that the evacuation was necessary as Ukraine was building up forces for a large-scale offensive and that Russia wanted to protect its citizens. Meanwhile, his deputy, Kirill, said on Telegram late Tuesday that in the very near future, the battle for Kherson will begin. Given the unguarded comments from Russian officials, analysts believe Russia is setting the scene now for an imminent withdrawal from a chunk of the whole Kherson region. Russian authorities are likely setting information conditions to justify planned Russian retreats and significant territorial losses in Kherson. Another withdrawal for Russia would mark a further humiliation for Moscow. Previous retreats by Russian forces from Kyiv, the outpost Snake Island or Kharkiv, or tactical withdrawals as Russia has characterized them, have made even the most pro-Kremlin figures in Russia critical of the country's military officials and strategy. The most recent humiliation for Moscow came when Ukraine flagged in the summer that it would launch a counteroffensive in the south, leading Russia to redeploy forces there, only for it to launch a massive surprise counterattack in the northeast of the country, allowing it to recapture a swathe of territory. A key challenge of any Russian withdrawal operation would be extracting troops and their equipment across the 1,000-meter-wide river in good order. With all the permanent bridges severely damaged, Russia would highly likely rely heavily on a temporary barge bridge it completed near Kherson in recent days, and military pontoon ferry units, which continue to operate at several locations. A retreat from Kherson and other areas on the Dnieper's west bank would shatter Russian hopes to press an offensive west to Mykolaiv and Odessa to cut off Ukraine's access to the Black Sea. Such a move would deal a devastating blow to its economy. It would also allow Moscow to potentially build a land corridor to the separatist Transnistria region of Moldova, home to a crucial Russian military base. The loss of Kherson will turn all those southern dreams by the Kremlin into dust, said Ukrainian military analyst Oleg Zhdanov. Kherson is a key to the entire southern region, which would allow Ukraine to target key supply routes for the Russian forces. Russians will try to retain control of it using all means. For Ukraine, capturing Kherson would set the stage for reclaiming the Russia-held part of the Zaporizhia region and other areas in the south, and eventually pushing back into Crimea. Ukraine and Russia has Kherson as their trump cards and would bet on anything and other to win over the region. This may become the hottest part of the war yet, as both armies are exhausted, and winning control of this region may become a beacon of ending the war or escalating it to the worst heights. Will Ukraine be able to push back the Russians, or will Putin do something inconceivable to maintain control? Let us hear what you think in the comment section. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching.